Good morning, everybody. It is 6 o'clock. It's 44 degrees, and I have a 14.3 mile day ahead of me today. Got a 1,500 and something foot ascent, 1,500 and something foot descent, and I'm excited about today, although I'm a little intimidated. It's kind of a long way to go and big descent and ascent. Last night I had dinner with Wedge and Dobb and Chowder, and we had a wonderful time. I really enjoyed their company. I'm starting off my hike, and this is the third set of these that I've come across this morning. Coming up on a little tunnel to go under. This is the first. This is interesting. Hey, how about that? That was pretty cool. Good morning, sun. Y'all have asked me several questions, and I thought I'd take a few minutes to answer. One was, do I know how to set up my tent in the rain? And I do know how to set up my tent in the rain with just the shell and then creep under it to set the tent up. I practiced that at home before I ever left, and so it's a little cumbersome and takes a little more time to set up a tent for me, but I do know how to do that. I'm very grateful I do know how to do it. I've been asked if I feel safe tenting, camping alone, and hiking alone, and the answer is, for the most part, I do. I think as a woman, you kind of always have to have your radar up and pay attention to your surroundings in front of you, behind you, listening all the time, even when you're in your tent at night. But I do feel safe, and part of the reason is because I'm a very independent person, and I'm not one to back down from confrontation easily. I think my life has prepared me for that, and so if somebody wants to confront me, then I'm ready to confront them right back. And kind of like that ship sailing into a storm, it's not to be argumentative, and it's not to be difficult to be around or get along with, but I don't tolerate nonsense very well. And so especially when it's unprovoked or when it's done in a manner that is demeaning to a woman, it kind of infuriates me. So the answer is no, I'm not. I'm as prepared as I can be, and as vigilant as I can be, and that is all I can do, right? Sounds that you hear at night, sometimes they can be a little disconcerting, but I think after you have slept outside for however long, several days, a week, you just get used to the sounds and you kind of know what's normal and what's not. Like when I did that shakedown hike and I heard the noise outside of my tent, and it ended up being wild boar. That was a little disconcerting, but you know, you're in their habitat, so you have to adjust. I've been asked about Leave No Trace, or I received a comment about Leave No Trace, and it was a good one. It was a thought-provoking one, and the self-blazing this morning. The comment was, you seem to have enjoyed the gnomes that were at the Quarry Gap shelter, and this was not what was said, but it was basically, how does that reconcile with Leave No Trace? Good question. It doesn't. I did enjoy seeing that shelter and everything that was around it, but it really threw me off because there were baskets of flowers there, and I guess I'm kind of riding the fence on this one. I have spoken to a couple of people that were from that area that are diehard AT hikers and trail maintainers. They don't like it. They think that it is ridiculous and that it is not part of the concept of hiking the AT. I don't disagree with them. Entertaining, amusing, interesting, I can't disagree with that either. So, you know, I hate to sound wishy-washy, but I'm kind of in the middle on this one. It does violate Leave No Trace principles, there's no doubt about it. In training, I did not realize that there were going to be individuals that were so interested in hearing more about that, and so I'll share what little bit more I know. I did not mention, I re-watched that video after I posted it to see what I might have left out, and I never said anything about making sure that you have your backpack on while you're training, or your day pack, and how you go from 5 pounds to 10 pounds to 15 pounds, and you get up to 25 pounds. That is an extremely important part of training, and I have talked about this portion of my training before, but not in conjunction with encouraging others to make sure that they consider doing that. There's also something at the gym, in a lot of gyms, called a stair mill, and it is much like an escalator, and you just walk up the steps and they just kind of keep revolving around on this machine. You can set the pace and the tension on it for how hard it is to walk up that. That thing is a cardio. Whew, that is hard. And I did that. I actually went to the gym. I took my 25-pound backpack with me and wore it as I was going up there, and I got a lot of looks. I was teased. They'd say, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" And I would explain to them, and then it just got to the point where people didn't say anything. And even if they had kept saying something, I wouldn't have cared, because I was training. I wanted to get in shape. Now, I'm not sure I mentioned this before either, but I did train for 11 months before I left on my hike, and I would have done it for longer, but that was the period when I had decided that I was actually serious about going. So all I had was 11 months to prepare, and it took me all of that 11 months. Now, you know, if you're younger, it may not take you that long, or if you're in better shape, but me being 64 at the time, and also not being, I wasn't in horrible shape, but I wasn't in the best shape. It took longer, and it was harder. When you're older, it's harder. It's just the way it is. Nobody wants to admit that. Nobody wants to admit that it's harder when you get older, but it is. And but when you're determined, you know, you just find a way to make it work. We're coming up to a sign. Let's see what that says. Tiny little water source right here. It just sounds like a trickle. It's very soothing. Alright, let's see. Backpackers, Darlington Shelter. Spring is sporadic, get water here. Okay. Well, the white blaze is right up there. The blue blaze goes off to the left. We're going to continue on. I just looked over to the right, and here's this. I'm sure this has been on a jillion YouTube videos. Here's this old car. You just have to wonder what kind of car that was, and I guess you can kind of tell from this bumper, the kind of bumper it has. The tree has actually grown around that. And nutrition. A lot can be said about nutrition. It's what's going to kind of make or break you out here. Because if you don't eat right, you're not going to feel well. What does eating right mean? I think it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And there are vegans that make it work. There are keto people that make it work. There are junk food people that make it work. You know, it's so individualized. What I would say for me is I tried several backpacking meals before I left and found that I did not like most of them. Now, I didn't try every single one because I tried some on the trail and took one bite and went, I just won't eat. And I didn't. I packed it back up in my backpack and hauled it out because I was not going to eat it unless I was next to some hungry hiker who didn't mind that my spoon had already been in my food. They ate it anyway. Fine by me. They were being fed, they were happy, and I didn't have to haul it out, so it was a win-win. You have to find what works best for you, and I can't really give you too many recommendations because I've not really found what works best for me yet. I can tell you this, I did not eat sugar for 2 years before I went on trail. Any kind of cookie, cake, pie, anything like that, donut, nothing. And I have had junk on the trail, and while I enjoy it, I have decided about 2 weeks ago that I'm really not going to be doing that too much anymore because I don't feel good after I eat it. But that's just for me. That, you know, eating nothing but junk food works for a lot of people on the trail. I've seen their bags when they come back from Walmart, and I am astonished at what they have there. Very little, if anything, is nutritious. This is a viewpoint from my hike, and I'm looking down into the Cumberland Valley. I'm in my fantastic secret garden again today. And I am happy. The birds are happy. It's funny. I've been on several of these trails where I'm hiking along and some trail runner comes and passes me going up a steep mountain and then coming back down before I even get to the top. I can't imagine. Oh, we're coming up to a sign. Let's see what this says. Okay. Darlington Trail? Nope. Miller's Gap, Lamb's Gap, Tower Road, Appalachian Trail South, Darlington Shelter. The next 12 miles are maintained by the Mountain Club of Maryland. I don't really understand that. I'm in Pennsylvania. If somebody knows the explanation for that, would you share it with me? Because I've seen that in several areas of trail that I have hiked in Pennsylvania. It's so nice and cool. I love starting hiking this early in the morning. I never get tired of seeing this. These leaves are being kissed up here by the sun. Nature is so beautiful, healing, restorative, peaceful, invigorating. Look at this. A boardwalk, flowers, and a ton of poison ivy. And I'm wearing shorts. Look at this. Look at these wildflowers. Oh, pretty. God, there's a lot of flowers. These things are... You see that right there? That's good luck. Little ladybug, thank you. Oh, look at them. They're just everywhere. Yay! Look at this. You know, finding things that bring you joy, these purple flowers bring me joy. I don't know what they are. If anybody knows what they are and wants to share that with me, I'd love to know. They're outstanding. I love them. I've just come out of that field of those lavender flowers. Lots of hay bales. And there are the mountains getting ready to cross the street. And the white blaze is over here. Look at this. That is nothing but a field of these beautiful, beautiful flowers. There's a guy up there. He's jogging with his dog. Look at these. You saw that man that was ahead of me. He was running. He had a backpack on. He's with the dog, and he just passed me coming the other direction. And he told me that he is training for a rucksack race, which I've never heard of before. You carry a 35-pound backpack, and you run the whole time for 28 miles. Holy moly, I cannot imagine. He was very young and very enthusiastic. He was training with his dog. He was very sweet. A rucksack race. He said it's here in Pennsylvania on the other side of Harrisburg. One of my favorite things to see. So we're going to cross the street. Oh, look! Look at all the flowers. Oh, so pretty. This is the best day. I am hiking so slow and I just don't care. Look, more. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh my gosh. I don't know what those are. Maybe they're phlox. Gosh, that smells good. So I'm hiking along and I look up and there are two people in front of me and they stand off trail for me to pass them. And they kind of stopped me dead in my tracks because they both had rifles. It was Dad and his handsome little 12-year-old son. And they are out turkey hunting. And I hope they can see teal blue because this is not bright orange. I didn't realize it was hunting season. That makes me a little uncomfortable. But anyway, he said, yeah, we heard you walking, so we pulled over to the side because we didn't want to scare you coming around the corner with, you know, weapons in our hand. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Can y'all hear? Listen. It always does 5. That was 4. Some of y'all told me that was a chipmunk. I just don't think that's a chipmunk. Is it an owl? Is it a dove? C5. I've been listening to him for a while. Huh. If y'all know what that is, I just don't think that's a chipmunk. Huh. Okay. Coming out of the forest. This is where we're coming out of. I see a hiker coming up behind me. And we're coming up here to a sign that says view. Okay. This has been the trail for the last few miles with all the vegetation overgrowth on the trail and all of the rocks. I'm having to go very, very slow. Yeah. It's been miles of this. That is pathway, and that goes straight down. That is what I just came down. It just goes directly up like this. Look at all of that rock. That is what I am hiking down. This is the trail. Sorry, I'm moving so slow. This is as fast as I can go with these rocks. Again, that is a trail right there. Pennsylvania, I have decided, is like a beautiful rose. Fragrant, just the most beautiful thing that you can imagine. But man, it has thorns, and those thorns are those rocks. I'm halfway through the state of Pennsylvania. Hey everybody, I want to thank you for being with me today and hiking. It's been a day, 14.2 miles on all these rocks. Nice feet hurt. So anyway, but I did it, and yay me. So y'all take care, and I'll see you in my next video.